That right there is the sound of a Shahid drone that keeps Donald Trump up at night. Donald Trump is fearing for his life as Iran is threatening him. And Iran is simply saying, if you invade, if you go after us, we will unleash hell and fury upon you and upon you directly. And you should be worried. Don't think that you're just going to get away with it and stay safe. Are you afraid, Donald? Are you too afraid to show up to your own son's wedding? You have Iran's parliament leader, MB Ghalibaf, through his key advisor, mocking Donald Trump for being too scared to even show up to his own son's wedding. And MB Ghalibaf, Iran parliament leader's key advisor, is saying the following: if Donald Trump and Israel execute its plan to target Iranian energy facilities, the retaliation promised by Tehran commanders will be activated. The Strait of Hormuz and the Bab el-Mandab Strait will be closed by fire, submarine cables will be disabled, and regional bases and energy infrastructure, including Ben Gurion Airport and any and all bases that facilitated the attack, will be rained down upon with hundreds of missiles daily. America and Israel are playing, quote, Russian roulette, and the outcome will be the collapse of the global economy, alongside unprecedented gas prices in America and a radical shift in the map of power across the Middle East. And Ghalibaf's advisor is using the term Russian roulette very intentionally because this week Russia did nuclear drills in Belarus to scare Donald Trump and to intimidate Donald Trump that if you go after Iran, if you try to engage in further escalation, there could be nuclear retaliation. And this is getting into Donald Trump's head. Donald Trump, the last 48 hours, has now just been repeating over and over again that his golden ballroom is a shield against drones. He's worried that Iran is going to attack him with their drones, the Shahid drone I showed you at the beginning, with their ballistic missiles. I mean, all day yesterday, he was posting things like this: golden dome for the White House. And it's this like AI image of a golden dome surrounding the White House. And he's been saying over and over again now, look, the ballroom, it's going to protect me from the drones, man. It's these Iranian drones are going to get me, and I need the ballroom to stop the drones and their missiles. It's a military thing is what I need. So now he's saying that, you know, when you think about this golden ballroom, it was all about the hospital underneath and a dome to block Iranian drones is what he's scared about. This is what he said on the tarmac. Here, play this clip.
We're building a great ballroom. It's been needed. It's a very military complex. The roof is actually a drone port. The roof of the ballroom is a drone port, and it gives great safety to everything below. It's good. We're building a really great ballroom, but it's also a strong military position for our people.
Then even before that, a day before, he said the following about unlimited drones. Drones are what's happening now. Here, play this clip.
But again, we have a drone-proof roof. It's all sealed, and all of this that you see is totally sealed. And we use it as a drone port. We can have unlimited drones up there, and drones are what's happening right now. Thank you all very much. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you very much. Don't eat too much.
By the way, Iran just came out with another one of those Lego videos mocking Donald Trump for being so afraid and canceling the wedding. Iran is really letting Donald Trump have it. Here, play this clip.
Trump canceled the golf, skipped his own son's wedding, locked in the White House vault. Tulsi just quit, Mossad warning Iran, my strike first, blockade on Iran. They got every right to hit back hard. Something is cooking, feel the panic in the air. Trump glued to the situation room, something heavy in the air. No golf, no wedding, no time for the fam. Something is cooking, and Iran ain't playing.
More from Iran's parliament leader MB Ghalibaf's advisor put out a strategic assessment bulletin as well. While the exchange of diplomatic messages continue, Iran forces and the resistance are prepared to execute, quote, the final phase of operations against the United States and its allies in the region. The operations will be extensive and carried out using next generation missiles and drones, Donald. The target bank has been reviewed with a historic punishment of the aggressor's approach. The strategic goal of the next operations will be to break the enemy's will for repeated aggressions against Iran. For over a week, Iran's armed forces have assessed a U.S. attack as inevitable and are prepared to respond to it. Also, Israel estimates that ultimately no agreement will be reached with Iran, and as such, the IDF is now preparing as if an attack is set to take place in the coming days. That's according to Israel's News 12. And we know this weekend, CBS reported that U.S. military and intelligence officials canceled Memorial Day weekend plans in anticipation of possible strikes against Iran. Most people believe those strikes were coming Friday night. You had Iran issue the notice to airmen, the NOTAM, or the notice to air missions, clearing the Iranian skies. People believed that was going to happen, but Donald Trump, after receiving these threats, apparently backed down yet again. You had earlier in the day yesterday, Qatar's diplomats showing up in Iran, and then they swiftly left. You have Pakistan's field marshal was actually there right now. You see a photo of him right now, Asim Munir, who's basically the leader of Pakistan, with Iran's foreign minister Araghchi in Tehran during an official visit as well. Meanwhile, you have Iranian social media accounts like this one over here, posting an X-ray image of Netanyahu controlling Donald Trump's mind right there. More warnings from Iran's Ministry of Defense last night. Failure to yield to Iran's rights will bring more failures for Trump. Trump has no choice but to accept the demands of the Iranian nation and acknowledge our country's rights in such a way that even new extra regional fronts will make them regret it even more. Of course, America knows that the path to any military superiority is closed. If America is engaged in excess demands, pretext making, and potential military actions, it will experience the third major punishment in less than a year, this time in a more specific and novel form. Specific, and I'm just letting you know what the key words are that they're saying to Donald Trump. They're not going to say it just overtly, but in a more specific and novel form is sending a message to Donald Trump directly, in my opinion. Donald Trump, again, talking about the roof is going to protect him, and it's needed to protect all of Washington. Listen to how utterly deranged this is. Let's play this clip right here.
They're very high. They're higher than just about anything else. They have a 360-degree vision of Washington, D.C. They have a massive drone capacity. Not only is it drone-proof, if a drone hits it, it bounces off. It won't have any impact. But it's also meant as a drone port, so it protects all of Washington.
And as Donald Trump fears for his life and wants to forever stay in power, let me share with you what he just did very late last night. The Justice Department moved to dismiss the criminal case against the Proud Boys for seditious conspiracy for which they were convicted. Now, Donald Trump's already pardoned them, but he wants to now dismiss the criminal case as if there was no conviction and no pardon necessary. He wants the case fully dismissed against the worst of the worst January 6th insurrectionists. I'll just share with you what he filed. This was filed last night at around 9 p.m., almost midnight East Coast time, so that it wouldn't be talked about during the day, but I'm going to talk about it first thing in the morning. He wants to build his militia. He wants to build, you combine that with the ballroom and the drones. he is preparing to stay in power, and he's fearful and paranoid. And this is what we see with psychotic authoritarians in history. This is what he posted. Look, it's the case against Stuart Rhodes and Kelly Meggs and people convicted of seditious conspiracy. Here's what it says. Pursuant to Criminal Rule of Procedure 48, the U.S. by and through the undersigned attorney respectfully moves this court to dismiss with prejudice the above captioned case against defendants Stuart Rhodes, Kelly Meggs, Kenneth Harrelson, Jessica Watkins, Robert Minuta. The government has determined in its prosecutorial discretion that the dismissal of this criminal case is in the interest of justice. Defendants through the attorneys have indicated that they do not oppose this motion. The principal object, this is horrific, and he's doing it. He's building this militia, if you can, because he ain't going to leave. And he's terrified right now about everything. He's paranoid. He's delusional. This is what's going on, folks. Now, I think it also should be noted that, and I'm going to do a whole other video on this as well, Donald Trump is now claiming, and the Trump regime is now claiming, that there is an Iranian terrorist who they just found in Turkey who was planning on killing Ivanka. And this person was arrested in Turkey, but was apparently from Iraq, but was sympathetic to the IRGC. And they claim that they've just uncovered this plan to go and take out Ivanka and go after her home in Florida. And I mean, I'm going to do a whole other video on this because, again, it just seems like beyond paranoia, but more than paranoia, another word, pretext of trying to come up with, oh, they're going after Ivanka, so maybe then I have to go after you. I'm going to do a video where I refer to Donald Trump using Ivanka as bait, as he's used her as bait his entire life. It's also notable where Donald Trump saying he's not going to his own son's wedding. And you saw the Iranian video mocking him for that as well. Joe Biden, as Andrew Weinstein explained, literally wrote a memo telling his staff that he'd be disappointed in them if they missed family milestones because of work. This is what Biden wrote back in November of 2014 when he was the vice president. To my wonderful staff, and the subject was family obligations from Vice President Biden, November 7, 2014. I'll leave you with this. To my wonderful staff, I would like to take a moment and make something clear to everyone. I do not expect, nor do I want any of you to miss or sacrifice important family obligations for work. Family obligations include, but are not limited to, family birthdays, anniversaries, weddings, any religious ceremonies such as the first communions and bar mitzvahs, graduation, and times of need such as an illness or a loss in the family. This is very important to me. In fact, I will go so far as to say that if I find out that you are working with me while missing important family responsibilities, it will disappoint me greatly. This has been an unwritten rule since my days in the Senate. Thank you for all of your hard work. So you have that on the one hand, and then you have Donald Trump posting images like this of himself, AI images of himself, peering over Greenland, saying, hello, Greenland, like a serial killer, like a psycho. Like, I don't know how to describe it. He's a psychotic individual, like a malignant, narcissistic animal. Anyway, let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million subscribers. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to add the MeidasTouch podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts for new updates every single day.